Hello everyone and welcome back to Total Football Talk. So we're going to look at the latest news coming out about Manchester United, and we'll have a quick look at the United v Rangers game that'll take place later tonight in the Europa League. Okay, so we'll have a quick start with the headlines and we'll talk about Dogru and whether Manchester United are going to put in another bid for him. Does look like that is going to happen, but the question is, how much are they actually going to put in for? We'll get into that. We'll also look at the latest sort of dealings with Garnacho. Where are things with that? Is there a new bid coming in? Do Napoli really want him? Do we really want to sell him? We'll have a look at that. The MEN are reporting that there's a potential medical set for March Rashford at Barcelona. Do we believe that one? Interesting. Will Rashford play tonight? Well, we know he was in the training squad yesterday. Images came out or across social media that he was there. Will he play? We'll also look at, will Casemiro play? And then finally, we'll have a look at the Rangers game. And Ahmad playing against a club that he was loaned to and he didn't have a great spell at. Okay, so we'll look at the very top story and we will look at Dogru for Manchester United. Lecce want €40 million, which works out at about £33 million. Do you think that's a good price? Because I don't. I think it's a ridiculous price. You know, we sold Scott McTominay to Napoli for less money, who was an experienced international, had scored goals, had won things, and he was in his mid-20s and he'd Premier League proven. And now we're looking at a youngster, a 20-year-old, and as I mentioned before yesterday, can he come in? Can he fit into the United squad to start with? Can he handle the pressure, which is going to be on top of him straight away? Because Matthijs de Ligt did a very interesting interview with the BBC with Dion Dublin very recently. And in that little clip that I watched, he talks about the pressure. Now, de Ligt has played at Ajax, he's played at Juventus, he's played at Bayern Munich, and now he's at Manchester United. And where's the most pressure? He talked about the most pressure is at Manchester United. Now, can Dogru come in and actually kind of manage that pressure at the tender age of 20? You know, we're asking them to be perfect. The kid's not allowed to make a mistake. Like that's one thing that whenever de Ligt had talked about going from Ajax for such a big fee to Juventus, he was still a kid, but he was a kid who felt like he couldn't make any mistakes. Now, can you imagine if we bring in Dogru, who is going to be a kid, and he makes a mistake, you get absolutely crucified. They're baying for blood. Xerxes, you know, barely 6 months in, absolutely slaughtered during one of the games, and had to come off. And it was against Newcastle, absolutely slaughtered. He's mentally battled well back from that. He's 23, he's a wee bit older than Dogru. So can Dogru come in and, you know, manage this whole Manchester United thing? The pressure cooker that is. You know, I would just hate to see the kid come in and crumble. And I think we can't waste money. We can't just give them 33 million and go, yeah, that's absolutely fine, because that's more wasted money if he doesn't fit into this squad. And then we're once again fighting uphill battles, either trying to you know, just even make money back on him. So I don't. Yeah, 25 million for me. I think if United go above that, they're absolutely just squandering money again. I mean, we're good at it. We're absolutely brilliant at throwing money around that we don't have. So I suppose why not? Why change? But I think they have to. I think they go 25 million plus add-ons. If they go above that, I just can't be doing with it. So let's hopefully see that they can make some good deal, a decent deal out of this. You know, and we'll look at Garnacho now. Is he going to go to Napoli? Napoli, you're talking about a 50 million bid, and Manchester United are interested. Again, if they want Dogru for 33 million and a kid unproven and in a relegation battle, and yet they want Garnacho, who's got the best statistics for his age group for under 21s across Europe, for 50 million. Talked about this yesterday. Do we want to sell him for that? No, I mean, I think he's got to go for a bit more. Whether he's worth a bit more, I just think market value, the things I mentioned yesterday, you know, the things he has going in his favour, I'd be very surprised, no, very disappointed if we actually sold him for less than 50 million. And again, even at that, the only way he should be allowed to go is unless they're actually going to put money back into the club, as in they sell him and then money goes straight back in so they can buy whoever it is they need to buy to replace him. because if they just take that money out and they use it elsewhere, that doesn't reflect in the squad. Ugh, unbelievably joke. The bunch of jokers if that is the case. So those couple of little things. Alvaro Fernandez is apparently still waiting to hear from Manchester United. Now the bit I find difficult to wrap my head around is how can we have Dogru at 33 million, and that's what Lecce want, 40 million euro. You know, Alvaro Fernandez, our buyback clause is a lot less than that. It's kind of in the region of maybe sort of between 16, 18 million pound. Now, as I said, maybe it just comes down to Ruben Amorim. Maybe Ruben Amorim prefers Dogru, but from what we're led to believe is that these are club signings. So, you know, would Fernandez want to come back? You know, he's playing in the Champions League. He played against Barcelona 2 nights ago. It was absolutely brilliant. I know he gave a penalty away, but dubious. Don't think that was a penalty in my book, but players these days just fall over at the drop of a hat. So what can you do? But he had a cracking game. You know, he set up a goal. He could have had 2 assists in the first couple of minutes. We know he can defend. He's got a great engine. He's pretty quick. He can get up and down that wing. So I think for me, it's a no-brainer. Go back. He knows the club. Try and get him. Now, whether he wants to come back into this shambles, I don't know. Maybe he'll look at the shambles and think, oh, I don't need that. And I wouldn't blame him for not. But I think United should at least assess that and look into that quickly rather than following the Dogru thing, because that's going to cost us more money that we could potentially waste. So yeah, I think Alvaro Fernandez for me would probably be, and he knows the club and he understands the pressure, and I think there's a lot more sensible to go for him because he's a cracking player and he's still very young and he still can be developed. So that for me would be the way forward, but we'll see what happens with Dogru. Okay, so it looks like the MEN are talking about Manchester United and Marcus Rashford actually having a medical at the having a medical with Barcelona, and I don't know. It's one of those stories where I just can't wrap my head around. They're talking about doing it this week at some stage. Yeah, obviously we know that Marcus Rashford is looking to hopefully look for a new challenge, as he did that interview with Henry Winter. But then if you look at the images that came out yesterday, he's back training with the main squad. So it looks like he's back in business. Is he going to be in the squad tonight? Is he even going to be in the team tonight? Now, obviously, Ruben Amorim's going to have to make changes because the squad is, played a lot of games. These players are tired, but they also need to get up for the fight after what happened in the Brighton game. From my point of view, I'd like to see him not in the squad, but I've got a feeling due to lack of numbers, he could be in the squad tonight. It'd be interesting to see what Anthony's in the squad tonight too, because obviously the Real Betis thing is still going ahead, but I don't know if it's done yet, so he may well still be in the squad. Will Marcus Rashford make it onto the bench? I don't know. Hopefully not, because I think if he does, it'll weaken Ruben Amorim's position kind of within Manchester United. He may come across as weak if he has to bring this player back in. And, player power once again is winning at Old Trafford. And we've had enough of that nonsense. And we need to root it out. And we need to get the players playing for the manager, not just playing for themselves and the paycheck, because clearly that isn't enough motivation to go out onto that pitch and get the results that the fans need to see, and the club and all the rest of us, because, it's not been good enough. So we'll have to see whether that happens. Whether there's a medical with Barcelona, I don't know. Absolute, for me, it's just a load of nonsense. Barcelona haven't got any money. They're struggling to register players. Yes, they're in the Champions League, so they will be getting money from that. But I think they've pulled every lever that they have, and I don't know if they have any levers left to pull to try and make another deal like this happen, especially on his wages. Maybe it'll be a loan to the end of the season, and we can, if that is the case, and he goes there and we make it work, then happy days. But yeah, it looks like Barcelona are maybe the last club potentially in for him. I know Dortmund are still interested, but they're not prepared to pay the wages. So obviously there is a massive sticking point. But let's see what happens in the Rangers game tonight. And then we will look at, will Casemiro make an appearance tonight? What's happened to Casemiro? There's been absolutely nothing on Casemiro recently. Absolutely zero talk about whether he's going to get transferred out of the club. But there is talk about him actually playing tonight. I think he had some stuff on social media hinting that he is going to be up for the match tonight. So can he come in? Can he do a job? I know from having watched a few Rangers games in the past that they're going to be energetic. They're going to cause us problems. And if they are, he'll get overrun in the midfield and we'll have a huge problem early doors. And we can't be doing with that. We need to get on top of them quickly and make it happen. But yeah, so let's see what happens with Rashford tonight. Let's see what happens with Casemiro tonight, and let's see what happens with Anthony, to see whether Anthony is in the squad or whether he's not, because his deal with Real Betis should be done or nearly done. But yeah, he might be in the squad tonight. So there's a lot to kind of take on board, a lot to look for, especially in terms of this whole transfer window, because clock's ticking and the Ineos and the Glazers still haven't done enough. You know, they're pussyfooting around and they need to actually get stuck in and make something happen. And that's where we are pretty much with that information. And finally, we will look at the Rangers match tonight. As I said already when I was talking about Casemiro, Rangers are going to be on top of us. They're going to make it difficult tonight, but we need to go there. We need to get a win. If we win, or not go there, they're coming to us. If we can get a win tonight, it practically puts us into the top 8 of the league, and we'll pretty much be home and dry, and it'll give Ruben Amorim a breathing space between January and February to get a couple of extra free weeks where he can get some of these players trained further into his understanding of this new system, and hopefully with that will come better results, because my God, they need to give something back to the fans after the shambles that they've been kind of serving up recently, especially in the Brighton game. But yeah, Ahmad up against his old club in Rangers. He went there. I kind of followed him a little bit when he was there. He did all right, but it wasn't great. It wasn't a great fit for him. Didn't quite work. He didn't find his feet up there. I know then he went on to Sunderland and was absolutely brilliant. He played really well, and was a young player of the year in the championship, which was amazing for him. But his time at Rangers weren't great. So will he be looking for a little bit of revenge? I'm not entirely sure how well he was treated when he was there. But yeah, I'd be happy for Ahmad if he could, you know, get a goal or two and help get us across the line, because I don't care what type of win we get tonight, as long as we bloody win that match, get across that, get into that top 8, and qualify automatically to give ourselves and Ruben Amorim a chance to breathe and kind of start working with that squad as much as he can in the free time that'll give him. But yeah, okay, look, we'll maybe do a match reaction tonight after the Rangers game, but let's see what happens. Fingers crossed we can get a result, and also maybe we can yeah, just qualify, and you know, just yeah, have a little bit of hope that the Europa League is a trophy that we can go for. All right, guys, thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next one.